Hi guys and welcome back to Mummy Cooks Homemade. My name's Hayley for anyone who doesn't know. So this is the beginning of the slow cooker, Frugal but Hearty slow cooker series. So this is a beef casserole. This is 500 grams of diced beef I've put in there. This does 2 lots of meals, by the way. So there's 500 grams of washed diced beef. I'm not pre-frying it. These are echelon or something. I like to call them banana shallots. I use them because I've got them in my fridge. You can just sling in a brown onion, white onion. I'm not getting into that debate again. Just chop up an onion, stick that in. You can see I've already got my slow cooker on high. I always cover my slow cooker as well with a tea towel because I find if I don't, it takes a long time for this slow cooker to really get up to where it's tenderising the meat, so to speak. So there's my shallot. And do as many carrots as you want to do. Bulk this up. That's the whole point of it being frugal. Really bulk it up. As long as you've got the flavour there, people are not worried whether they've got a piece of meat in the mouth with every mouthful. It's that rich gravy. I think that a lot of people like with things like this. That is what's comforting. Am I a big fan of veggies? Not particularly, but I mean, look at me. Do I look like I'm a fan of veggies? But cooked like this, I am. Because they just absorb all that flavour from the meat and the gravy. Oh, it's lovely. And you could have some, whatever type of bread you like with this. I was going to say some crusty bread, but whatever you want to have. That bulks out your meal even more. So, as you can see, I'm just chopping up carrot and parsnip. You don't have to put carrot and parsnip in if you don't want to. Use what's in your fridge. I was going to chop up some white cabbage, but I forgot. If you do put some white cabbage in, make sure you cut it like small, not like you would for a Sunday dinner. Then you don't seem to notice it so much. See, I don't like parsnips, I can't stand them. But my husband likes them, so I put them in. But I leave them big enough so that once I find them, I can pick them out. But it's not fair for me to not put them in at all just because I don't like them, so. You could chuck some whole sprouts in this thing. You could put your cabbage in. I mean, right at the end, I lay some tender stem on the top just for the last like 10-15 minutes. And cook it that way. I was going to like not boil it, but steam it in another pan, but why? I just popped it on top of that and it took up so much of that gravy. Here I've used 500 grams of mushrooms. You've got to remember these things do all like contain water, so they do shrink down. I know it seems like a lot of veggies going into this, but it's not really. You can see my beans were just on the verge of turning. I find a couple that are not really much good. But I'm picking them out. I'm not chucking the entire thing because I found a couple that are not worth putting in. I don't think we can live like that these days at the minute. So pick out what's not good enough and you can see the rest are fine. So it'd be a waste for me to throw them all away. I don't like these either, but because they're slow cooked, I don't really notice them. So, yeah. Again, I put these in because Steve likes them. And it is, if you've got a decent slow cooker, it costs less to have your slow cooker on. It heats your kitchen up than it does to have your gas on or something like that. So like I say, it heats your kitchen up and it cooks your meal. You've not got to stand there over a pot for a start, especially for some people that have got physical limitations. And there's a lot of ladies, and possibly even gents, that watch that don't say anything. And if there is, please do come into the comment section and talk to us, because we don't bite. I know a lot of women do, but we don't bite. There's a lot of people, I'll say people, Worcestershire, on this channel that have physical limitations such as myself. But once it's in that slow cooker, the only thing you've got to do is stir it. Bay leaf, a couple of them. You know, I only found one when I did tea. Oh dear. It's like the bouquet garni from the other one. I still haven't found that. Onion. I know I put the shallots in, but I do like an onion flavour. Some garlic. You know, I've got like 700 grams of peeled and frozen cloves of garlic. There's some celery salt. I don't measure it out. Season things to your own taste and put in the herbs or spices or whatever you want that you like. These are just ideas. You do what you want to do. You want to fry off the meat first, you fry off the meat. It's entirely down to you. Yeah, I've got like 700 grams left of like already peeled garlic cloves. I always reach for my powdered. I think it's habit. I didn't put much salt in there because I am going to use this seasoning next to me, this consommé, beef consommé, later on. So I'm just going to put in a jug of water and that's it, because it's going to cook down. All them veggies are going to lose all the water. And that's it for now. Pop the lid on. So it's been on for a few hours at this point. Beef flavoured stock powder. I get this from Amazon. If you would like me to link it, just leave me a message. So all I've done is put a heaping teaspoon in there. I like the flavour of this. But I did also add a little bit of beef gravy granules near the end, just to give it that richer taste. And thicken it a bit more. I mean, this does get thicker as it cooks. So, in this casserole, I'm going to put some baby potatoes in. They are quite small, they don't take too long to cook. Again, it's a 5-minute job, just, as you can see, just either cutting them or not cutting them and sticking them in. These are washed. That's it, throw them in. Lid on, and we're off again. Look at that. Look at that bad boy. And I do thicken this up, and oh, I'm drooling again. I only had it like, what time is it? Nearly 10 PM. Like 5 hours ago. So I'm back again. Look at that now. Just look how thick and unctuous that is. Nothing overly expensive went into this. This would feed you for a couple of days. You use some up. There's no reason you can't add more veggies into that and keep cooking. Add a few more potatoes to it. Oh, there's the beef, look. Oh, that was lovely. And just keep cooking. There's no reason you can't do that. So a £4 pack of meat, stretched for a couple of days, it's a couple of quid. It's not that bad. There I go with the tender stem, and that's all I did. Laid it on top, put the lid on, and off I went. I make it sound like I'm going on a marathon or something. And that was it, finished. Turned off, finished. Tell me that don't look good. And you can see there was no effort really in that. Oh, look at that meat. Oh, look at that. There was no effort. All I did was come in and stir it. There we go. Look at that bad boy. And that is my first recipe to you. Give it a try. By all means, I'm all for using stocks and stuff like that, but granules do come in handy to really thicken things up like this at the end. So now we move to a pork one. I never use pork shoulder steaks, ever. But I thought, we never eat diced pork because it doesn't taste of anything. So I got these. I thought, these have got some fat on them. These surely would taste a lot better in a casserole. And did they. And so cheap as well. And these are from Lidl. And before anyone mentions, yes, those are decorating scissors. Did I decorate with them? No, obviously not. They went straight into the kitchen drawer. But still, they are the best scissors. Get yourself some wallpaper scissors, guys, honestly. They are so good. Look at them tear through that meat. Anyway, going back to it. So, yeah, I use pork steaks. Same price as it would have been for a pack of diced pork. And look at the chunks of meat in this. They're huge. And the flavour was, yeah, it was just, yeah. Steve doesn't like pork casserole. Don't particularly like diced pork. He likes joints of pork, such as the pulled pork and pork loin. But he's never been a fan of pork casserole. And he turned around and I swear he turned around and said that was so nice. Oh, look at steak is splashing on my cooker. So yeah, I just cooked this until it got a bit of colour on each side. That's not butter. That's two frozen pieces of garlic again. I've gone for that instead of the bloody cloves I've got frozen. Ugh. A lot of you will know as well that I use garlic oil. So I do that myself. As I've said, my garlic is frozen. So when I need to refresh the oil, all I do is put some cloves that I'm going to put into that bottle of oil in a jug, pour some boiling hot water over and leave it for a couple of minutes, because you've got to be so careful with botulism. You can look that up, but it can be very dangerous. So don't just peel and put some garlic into a bottle. Freeze it, which kills any bacteria, and then just pour over some boiling water and you should be fine to go. And that bottle's emptied every week anyway. So there's the pork. I've browned it off. Lovely. I didn't realise how nice this was going to be. So loads of mushrooms again. See, I'm all for the mushrooms, guys. This is some leftover celery. I'm not throwing it away, there's nothing wrong with it. Whip it in. Yes, I am that girl. Whip it in. Oh, I can't be one of them people that stands there going, or does a voiceover and goes, chop up your broccoli, it's not even broccoli. Chop up your celery, make sure it's 1 centimetre in size. Place it into the slow cooker. No. Whip it in there. I've just shown you that I've split that leek and I give it a wash through, because sometimes you get bits of grit and sand inside there. You don't want a crunchy casserole. Well, maybe you do. It's up to you. So that's gone in. I had these left over as well. Needed using. Put in whatever you want to put in, guys. I would always advise like the basics though of like the mushrooms and the carrots to bulk it out a bit. So I can't stand them beans. I do pick those out. Again, I put them in because Steve likes them. If you're going to slow cook vegetables, cut them a little bit bigger than you would if you was like just doing them for a Sunday dinner. So I do chop these a little bit thicker. So I've used different ingredients in this one. Again, I'm using what I've already got in the house. I think the only thing Steve had to get me was another pack of mushrooms. So because this is pork, all I'm going to do is quarter this and sling it in. And then I realised I've forgot to take the seeds out. Numpty. This disintegrated into it. So you couldn't even tell where the apple was at the end. It just disintegrated into it. So there come them shallots again. We'll just call them banana shallots. Anyone wants to disagree with what I call them, that's fine. I'm still going to call them it. You see, I used more in the beef one because I believe the onion and beef are meant beef and onion. It's just beef and onion, isn't it, guys? You know, especially the English viewers, beef and onion. Like a bag of beef and onion crisps. You have a steak, you have onions, you know. So I put a bouquet garni in, but I couldn't for the life of me find that 2 bag to pull it back out again. So the other half of this casserole I gave to the in-laws, and I had to text her and tell her I didn't find my tea bag. And she was laughing. She was, I bet I end up with it then. So bouquet garni, celery salt, mixed herbs. I've got some chicken powder this time. That as well is off Amazon. I really do like these as opposed to stock cubes, because I find stock cubes, even the low sodium ones, are quite salty. It's like low sodium compared to water, you know. These ones I find have got flavour. So I'm just adding water in. I added more water in this time because there was more in there. Get a mix about. I also always use slow cooker liners. My days of scrubbing out a slow cooker pot are done, mate. Done. If they ever stop making slow cooker liners, I'll never use my slow cooker again, unless Steve washes it up. Which, to be honest, he does anyway. But, oh yeah, they're ace. Once you've finished, just pull that liner out. Nice and clean inside. Oh, look at that. And it's already thick. Oh, look at them chunks. Now with this one, yep, see, look, I'm adding in a little bit just for some more flavour. Ooh. I know how I want it to be, how thick I want it to be. That's it, done. I'm zoomed in so you can see better. So this one, I don't put the potatoes inside it. Trying to make sure that you can actually see how it looks in there and how thick it is, and oh, I'm gonna go grab a bag of crisps after this. So there's my potatoes, and I'm gonna roast them this time. Next time I have a casserole, might have mash. It's whatever you want. It doesn't have to be the same each time, you know. Same each time makes it boring, and then you don't end up eating it. So that's the garlic oil. That is fabulous on roast potatoes. So I'm going to put in a bit of seasoning. I never go too heavy on the salt, and I use flaked sea salt or kosher salt. It's not as heavy on that salty taste. And you've already got that garlic flavour as well from the oil. So I'm just going to toss them about. There we go. Whip them into the oven. So they come out of the measuring jug because, like I do with my chips, I put them into the microwave for 8 minutes on high. No water. Just the potatoes. No water. and then they go hot onto the tray and then into the oven. So here we are. You got your potatoes all crispy. There's your thick gravy. You can see how much is in there as well. So this really does stretch. Big chunks of meat with some roast potatoes. Don't forget you've got your vegetables inside there and your meat as well. If you want more vegetables, add more vegetables by all means. But that's the way we had it that day. And there you go. Beautiful pork casserole. Please try them pork shoulders if you don't already try them. Diced beef has no flavour compared to these pork shoulders, I promise. So give it a try, let me know what you think. So don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll speak to you in the comments. Bye.